there is a manual online. There are probably a video online about how to do this. The top button here is a test button. Then you have an about and a setup. So that's the most frequent one you're going to use is the test. Hit it once, the display wakes up. Hit it again, it goes into the menu. The main two options that you can do is set local levels, and that's how you can set local, meaning the rack. Set them directly from the rack. And so you select enter. This is a touch wheel that scrolls as you spin around, and it selects which channels you want to control. 1 through 96 is what's in the dimmer rack. And I believe y'all have this sheet of kind of generally what the house lights are, what circuit numbers they are. So they did a 1-to-1 transfer, so everything still should be on the same channels they were on. All you do is select which channels. You can select it multiple ways. You can select individual by just hitting enter when it's highlighted. And now you're adjusting the level. So you can raise the level by doing this. You'll see the number increasing. And these are, let me look before I say commit. Yeah, these are percentages. Because 100 is full, it changes to FL. So it goes to percentage. And it's actually changing as you do it. And if you want to select another one, you just hit enter to get off of that one, and it goes back to selecting a channel. If you want to select multiples, like I want to say I want to select 7 through 10, highlighted 7, there's a through button over here, and then I can scroll over to 10, or I can hit 10, and now it's selected 7 through 10, and I can adjust all those the same. I can do the entire rack, going back to the channels, 1 through 96, and enter. And now I can adjust levels of every single channel in the rack. So if I just want to turn everything on to see what bulbs are blown, that's the way you can do it. Now you're turning on everything. You also turn on the ones up on the plug strips. I think 1 through 26 is all. Well, then they're under balcony or in the 30s plus a 53 in there. But so you can go in and turn on all the house. Of course, you can also do it from the push buttons down there. But this is a way to get lights on from here if you're testing, you don't want to walk down there, or if you think there's a problem, if the push buttons go out, if they're not working, if this part of the architectural system, which the push buttons talk to, if it goes out, you can get lights on by coming up here and doing this. But I mean, your console should, well, actually, if this goes out, your console's not going to work either. Just because the console is passing through here. This is converting DMX to network. It's funny because your computers can go from network to DMX, and then this is converting it back to from DMX back to network to talk to this. So if there had been a network cable run from your console, and it talks, I don't know if it does SACN, if that's the protocol it's using, then we could have just talked directly network all the way. But it doesn't matter. It'll all work. Okay? So that's the main thing you're going to want to do here. If you want to test modules, see these signal lights tell you if the module is being told to come on. And every module except the airflow modules, which are blanks, and it's just a block holes so that air gets sucked through dimmers. Okay, that's the goal. Is we want it cooling, so the fan sucks air in, pulls it out the top. So when the door's closed, sucks through the filter, through the front of the rack, out the top. That's the airflow. So you want to try to always make sure there's modules in and blocking all the holes. So the signal lights, if you want to go through and just check every circuit, like a circuit check, then there's another thing we can do. So when you back out of this, and the way you get out of it is you back out, you hit the back button, and you back out and it says release set levels, and you typically want to say yes when you're done, and that releases these manual levels that you've set. Otherwise, if they stay on, say you've set them at 0, you scrolled everything back down to 0, but you left those levels set, because 0 is a valid, it's going to hold that rack at 0, and you can't turn it up from anything. Okay, because this is priority. What you do locally overrides everything you do externally. So you want to be sure you release those set levels. The other common thing you can do is dimmer check. It's the third item on the list. You select dimmer check. Now there's two modes of this. You can do by circuit or you can do by lug. What do I mean? Well, if you'll see, the numbers aren't sequential. 1, 2 is up here, 3, 4 is here, 5, 6 is down here, and it just keeps rotating. It's because it's a 3-phase rack. So there's an A phase, B phase, C phase. So it is rotating the numbers so that you get equal amounts on each phase. And so if I go by circuit, it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like they're numbered. If I go by lug, it's going to go sequential top to bottom. So it's going to take the first lug, second lug, third lug, fourth lug. The lug is, this is the phase bar side, and these are your lugs to the loads. So we're going to kill it and pull out some modules and let you see that. Actually, I'm going to do this. So you see the phase lug over here, the big lug. Then you see the individual lugs over here. These dimmer modules are dual channel, all the ones you have. So there's 2 circuits per module, 2 dimming circuits, and a breaker for each one. So you have 48 modules in a 96 channel rack. So that's how you dimmer check by circuit, and you'll see that if you go by lug, you can just see if the green light comes on as you go down. So right now lights are on, that's why you see green lights. Lights are being told to come on for the button stations downstairs. If we had it off, then you would see it just sequentially as we go next in the circuit check by lug. You just toggles by it enter. Then you scroll down to next, and it's just going to go sequentially down. So you'll see it start in some of these. I'm on lug or circuit. Dimmer check by lug. I'm on lug 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So you see those signal lights coming on? So that will check each one individually, which is handy. You can do, the other thing you can do here is about, in essence, to get status of like what is in the slot. You can see about the dimmer, what level it's told to be at, what control source is telling it to be at that level. Good troubleshooting stuff. If you have a light on, you can't figure out, why is this light on? I'm not telling it to be on. Come out here in here and look at the control source. SACN is the network. That means it's coming from this. So technically it's the architectural system that's telling it to be on. We know that because the computer's off. But if it's on local, then you'll know, it'll tell you if you left something, if you let set levels on. Control mode is dimmable, so and it just scrolls through all the dimmers, tells you what levels they're at and everything, which lug it's on. So this does the conversion for you, which circuit is on which lug. So about rack tells you the name of the rack is, what type it is. These are things you may call factory support sometime, and they may ask you to push something, and that's the whole point, just so you have seen it. That's why this boring stuff is necessary, just so you can kind of see what the things that they may ask you to do, or if you're curious and want to get in here and see. It tells you the rack temperature, it tells you the rack is okay, it tells you the software version, and the phase voltages. Good troubleshooting stuff. If there are errors, you can go in here and see what the errors are. If there are errors, you're going to have a couple of indicators. The primary one you'll be able to see, there'll be a message on the screen. Normally it says system okay, but there will be this blue light up here. We call it the beacon. That will be flashing when there's an error. So you know, hey, I need to look at this rack, see what's going on. You look in here, and the main screen will have an error message typically. And you go into this screen to clear those errors. I'm I don't recall exactly on this particular module. There are typically two types of errors. There are errors that are self-clearing. They're just temporary things that may pop up, and I mean, it's not typical for any errors to pop up, but there are ones that may pop up and may go away and the message goes away. Then there are sticky errors. Those errors you have to manually clear by going into the error screen here. And so you just select it and it'll prompt you through clearing it. If it comes right back up, it's a real error. And that's when you get on the phone. Do y'all have the manuals here of the processors? There was a manual with both of these processors. In the box with them. 'Cause anyway, they have the error message. That's just the install message manual for this. They should have been in the box with the processors. Yeah, but they wasn't. I didn't see the